Review Productions brings you classic entertainment in a modern world and in a vintage manner with the cast that's keeping the golden age of radio alive. A day in the life of Hollywood, 1930s. With the voices of Dominique Breckenridge as Betty Gray, Jasmine Lofton as Rachael Hagen, Tony Ballard as Mason Davis, and Tamara Solomon as Pike Anderson. Sun rises over New York City as Betty, Rachael, Pike, and Mason have their bags tossed. Well, I'll just go to the conductor about this. Excuse me.
Well, Rachael, I guess that leaves you to finish her monologue. You are her best friend.
And you're her backup. And I'm the literary artist, so that leaves me. As their bags are loaded into the train on their way back to California. That's all I get? Really? Take it away, Hollywood. I mean, New York. I mean, transitioning on the train. Excuse me.
Hiya, Pike.
Hey, Mason.
Hey, I see you got the door open. Do you mind if I come in?
Seeing that you've crossed the threshold, sat down on my best hat, took out your cigar, smelled it, primed it, smoked it, and fixed yourself a drink, I guess there's no reason why.
Thanks. So, I see you've got your Remington out. Are you mapping out a good story?
Yes, a dramatic masterpiece. It's my Moonlight Sonata.
Why, Pike, this is so sudden. The sun's still out. I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
That wasn't a line, and that wasn't Spanish. Don't you know Italian when you hear it? Quasi una fantasia. Later, the Moonlight Sonata. It's a composition for the piano.
Is that what you're writing?
No, I didn't write it, compose it. It's Beethoven. It's one of his most popular pieces.
So you're writing Beethoven?
What? No, Beethoven. The composer, the pianist. Haven't you ever heard of Ludwig van Beethoven?
Did he used to play with the Chicago Syncopators? The Lafayette Junction down the Mosquito Way?
Hand me that cigar and give me that drink. I'm gonna need it. Don't, Pike! Don't let it come to this. It's not worth it! Rachel, what do you mean?
I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. I was walking past your room, and the door was open, and your neck was cracked back, and the sheet full of paper on the typewriter, and only 2 sentences full, and you were about to drink from that bottle. You don't have to succumb to the bottle just because you haven't come along on your story. And you, I'm surprised, giving her this blast. You should be ashamed of yourself, Mason Davis.
You came up with all that just by walking past the door? Gee, and I thought I was the creative writer. Must be slipping.
Where Mason Davis is concerned, yes. I knew you were a wolf in wolf's clothing, but I didn't think you'd come as far as this to betray a friend.
Why would I come all the way to New York to do that? I could have done that back in Los Angeles.
What?
I mean, I didn't have to come this far. You were talking about... Okay, that is... Okay, when you said about the... Like a play on words. Pike, give me back that drink, will you? I'm going to need it.
Get it yourself. This makes for one good story. Keep it coming, Rachel. I can use this in my second act.
For your information, I wasn't trying or going to ruin Pike. She grabbed that flask away from me, like the time she snatched that bottle away from you when I gave you my cure for food poisoning. And you know how that ended up. Pike, no!
It's alive! It's alive!
It's alive. Good one, Rachel.
Don't thank me. You were the one that turned green.
Where's Betty?
Last I saw her, she had the conductor strapped to the chair with his pocket watch and a dining cart to make him hear out her story. Hi, really? Don't quit that. You're not writing a comedy.
Oh, it's growing more tragic by the moment.
Mind if I read what you've written so far? I am the script reader after all.
Sure. I could use a creative mind to help me develop the story.
Hey, what about me? When I offered you turn me down. Hey, I have a magician's mind after all.
Mason, it doesn't take a magician's mind to know that pouring salt into soda makes it fizzy. I saw Chaplin do it in a movie once.
Oh, yeah? Well, it doesn't take a board to break to know a brick has just fallen on his head. Ow! Pike come from? And now, ladies and gentlemen, we turn away from our normal charades to bring you a new part of our program where we highlight a classic cinema feature from the era that we're in, be it 1930s, 1940s, or 1950s. Much like the Lux Radio Theater, Screen Guild Theater, or Mercury Theater, just naming a few did, back in the golden age of radio. We'll start you off here in this episode in small doses, but as time goes by, don't be surprised to see a day in the life of Go Theater. Now for now, sit back and let us entertain you in the best way we know how, classically. Here's a scene from the 1939 film, The Women. Screenplay by Jane Murfin and Anita Luce. Based on the play by Claire Booth, directed by George Cukor. And originally starring Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, and Rosalind Russell. Performed tonight by our very own Betty Gray as Crystal Allen, Rachael Ellis Hagen as Sylvia Fowler, and Pike Anderson as Mary Haynes. Ladies.
May I come in?
Sit down, Sylvia.
Oh, Mary, dear, you do know. Why don't you confide in me?
Sylvia, will you please stay out of my affairs?
No, I won't. If you think I'm going to stand by calmly and let you stick your head in the sand like some ostrich, you must be very mistaken. You positively are the only one in New York that doesn't know all about this. Howard says that Stephen hasn't been seen at his club in the afternoons for weeks.
Oh, go away, Sylvia.
Oh, Sally, show that model to Miss Allen right there. Your hat, Mrs. Haynes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, is that Crystal Allen across the hall?
Yes, she's a new customer. Do you know her? Is she a lot of money?
I think she knows where she can get a lot.
Well, she's buying everything she sees regardless. Why, Mrs. Haynes, are you ill?
No, I think I'm just a little tired.
I'm afraid you've been standing too long.
Go get her a glass of sherry.
Oh, surely.
Oh, Mary, dear, you'd feel so much better if you talked this out with someone. Stephen's an absolute worm spending money on a girl like that.
Oh, shut up, Sylvia.
Well, do you like being made ridiculous before all of your friends? Now, don't be a fool, Mary. Go in there.
Go in there? I'm going home.
Now, Mary, now is your chance to go in there and put an end to this. Go in there and just say a few quiet words and tell her how you're going to make her life an absolute tornado until he gives her up. Look where she was 6 months ago, and now look where she is.
Sylvia, will you please let me do what I want with my own life?
Well, she may be a marvelous influence on your husband, but she's not going to do your child any good.
What do you mean?
Oh, far be it for me to tell you things you don't care to hear. I've known this all along. Edith wanted me to tell you when you were called up in Bermuda, but did I let her?
What's this got to do with my child?
Well, it was while you were away, Edith saw it. Stephen had that creature and little Mary in a luncheon in the park, and she said that they were having a hilarious time. That Beazle had her arm around little Mary, and she was kissing her between every bite. And when I heard that, I was positively heartsick, dear. But as you say, it is your affair, not mine. No doubt that girl will make a perfectly good stepmama for your daughter.
Come in. I beg your pardon?
I'm Mrs. Stephen Haynes.
Sorry, but I don't think I know you.
I believe it's my husband you know.
Oh, so Stephen's told you.
No, he's never mentioned you.
Mrs. Allen, here's that blue negligee you wore.
Stay out of here.
But I've known about you for some time.
Well, that'll be news to Stephen. Personally, I'm glad you know.
I've kept still because I knew it wouldn't take Stephen long to get fed up.
Don't lay any bets on that, Mrs. Haynes. I'm not you.
You've been seeing my daughter. That's what I've come in here to tell you. I won't have you coming near my daughter.
You don't have to get so hysterical about her. What do I care about your daughter? I'm sick of hearing about her.
You won't have to hear about her anymore because you and my husband aren't going on seeing each other.
That's rather up to Stephen, don't you think?
Completely. So you'd better start making other plans, Miss Allen.
Listen, I'm taking my marching orders from Stephen. He seems to be satisfied with this arrangement. So don't force any issue unless you want to cause plenty of trouble.
You've made it impossible for me to do anything else.
You're very confident, aren't you?
Yes, because I know Stephen couldn't love a girl like you.
Well, if he couldn't, he's an awfully good actor. Look, what do you have to kick about? You've got everything that matters. You've got the name, the position, the money.
My husband's love happens to mean more to me than any of those things.
Oh, can the sob stuff, Mrs. Haynes. You noble wives and mothers bore the brains out of me. I bet you bore your husbands, too.
You are a hard one, aren't you?
Well, I can be soft on the right occasion. Look, what did you expect me to do? Burst into tears and beg you to forgive me? Isn't that what you really came in here for, Mrs. Haynes?
Not after seeing you. You're even more typical than I dared hope.
Well, honey, that goes double. Now look, get this. I'd break up your snug little roast if I could, but I don't stand a chance. Oh, don't think it's because your husband isn't crazy about me. Because he's the kind that lets that old-fashioned sentiment put that Indian sign on him, and that's all.
I'm glad you understand the strength of sentiment, Miss Allen, because its beauty is something you'll never know.
This happens to be my room, Mrs. Haynes.
It's yours, yes, for the time being, just like everything else you've got. May I suggest, if you're dressing to please Stephen, not that one. He doesn't like such obvious effects.
Thanks for the tip. But when anything I wear doesn't please Stephen, I take it off.
Woo! Well, that was a hot number. Between you and me, that Crystal Allen is a tough cookie. But my bet's on Mary Haynes. What say you? If you want to see how it comes out, go to our theater. Go to your theater, okay?
We have one, too.
Go to your theater and see The Women starring Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, and Rosalind Russell. Now, let's hop over to the dancing cart. Back on the train.
Right. But we can cut a rug, too.
Let's hop over to the dining cart on the back of the train with Betty and see if she's let the conductor off the chain. Get it? Chain, train, letting him off. Okay. Okay. All right, kids. Let's go.
Give me another one. Just like this one.
Not you too, Betty. Don't order another drink.
Drink? I wasn't ordering any drink. And I wasn't drinking any drink. Other than the drink I was drinking when I drank the coffee. What's all this with drinking about anyway?
You mean you heard about that? News travels fast.
I didn't have to. It came straight from the baker's mouth, and I didn't even know Rachael could cook. I could hear her all the way down the corridor in Anderson's room from the dining cart, and believe me, as loud as my mouth is and as small as my ears are, that's saying something. Because I gave that conductor a good piece of my mind.
Well, don't let him take the last piece.
Was that a crack?
It wasn't an opening.
It seems like I've heard that line before. Be glad I don't have my purse with me.
You mean the one you carry around to hit people with?
I don't carry it around to fry eggs. You'd be surprised what a cast iron skillet would do when somebody's making fresh.
I'm sure they'd be surprised too. I've been on the other end of one of your skillets. It took me 8 months to learn how to write with my left hand. Hey, Betty, what is it?
It's a telegram that came from me about signing a contract with the studio when we get back to Los Angeles.
Really? Well, congratulations, Betty. That's great news. You know, we ought to get the gang together and let's celebrate.
I fully plan to. That's why I asked the bartender to give me another one just like it.
Pretzels and peanuts?
Salt peanuts. Yep. Oh, and this wire came along with it. It said that in addition to signing a contract with the studio, they'd been hearing me on the air and wanted to start a show with the premise of reprising some films on radio. It's some idea they have with Henry London.
Henry London? He's an actor, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been trying to get a contract with the studio for a while. I hope he makes it.
We'd like to thank the Academy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring you just that. While Pike and Rachael finish reading over Pike's draft of her story, Betty Gray and I will bring you a scene from MGM's 1939 hit comedy Ernst Lubitsch, Ninotchka, written by Charles Brackett, Billy Wilder, and Walter Rice. starring Greta Garbo and Melvin Douglas. Nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Actress, Best Screenplay, Best Original Story, and Best Picture of 1939. Ladies and gentlemen, Ninotchka.
You, please.
Me?
Could you give me some information?
Gladly.
How long must we wait here?
Well, until the policeman whistles again.
At what intervals does he whistle?
What?
How many times between the first and second whistle?
Oh, that's funny. I've never thought of that before.
You've never been caught in a similar situation?
Yes, I have. Now, come to think about it, it's staggering. Good heavens, if I added all up, I must have spent years waiting for whistle signals. Imagine all the important time I've missed in my life waiting between whistles.
In other words, you don't know.
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, can I help you?
You might hold this for me.
I'd love to.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We are facing north, aren't we?
Facing north. No, I'd hate to commit myself without a compass. Pardon me, are you an explorer?
No, I'm looking for the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, good heavens. Is that thing lost again? Okay. Are you interested in a view?
I'm interested in the Eiffel Tower from a technical standpoint.
Technical? No, I'm afraid I couldn't be much help from that angle. You see, a Parisian only goes to the tower in moments of despair, you know, when they want to jump.
How long does it take a man to land?
Now, isn't that too bad? The last time I jumped, I forgot the timing. Now, let's look at this map here. Let's see. Eiffel Tower. Okay, your finger, please.
Why do you need my finger?
Bad manners to point with your own. Here we are, the Eiffel Tower.
And where are we?
We are here. Let me see now. Here we go. We're here, and I'm here, and you're here. You feel it?
I'm interested only in the shortest distance between 2 points. Must you flirt?
I don't have to, but I find it natural.
Suppress it.
I'll try.
For my own information, would you call your approach towards me typical of the local morale?
Mademoiselle, it is that approach which makes Paris what it is.
You're very sure of yourself, aren't you?
Nothing's happened recently to shake my confidence.
I have heard of the arrogant male in capitalistic society. It is having a superior earning power that makes you that way.
A Russian! I love Russians! A comrade! I've been fascinated by your 5-year plan for at least the last 15 years.
Your type will soon be extinct.
Wow, what an effect! This draft is really good. The life and times in the city should make a very interesting finish.
Won't know that until I get back to Los Angeles. If Betty keeps this kind of stuff up, I'll have a chainsaw of a finish.
Should give the whipsaw a run for its money.
Make way, Myrna Lloyd.
How's the story coming along, Anderson?
I don't know. Gotten into any fisticuffs lately?
Huh?
Betty, I've heard you've got some good news to share with us.
Yeah. I received this wire about doing film scenes with the movies on radio. I haven't failed with you guys yet. Wanted to see if you'd rehearse the scenes with me once a week before I go on the air.
I'm game if you're game.
And I'm ham if you're ham.
What?
Huh?
Wait. That's what I thought. Now, what say you, Anderson? What are you typing? You've been writing an awful lot lately every time I enter a room. I know we discussed writing publicity for the columns while I was on stage, but the production is over.
But not the story.
All this talk about books and films and such got me thinking, Betty, how's your book selling?
Oh, out of the root and on a rocket. The checks have started coming in like a bad habit. One I'm not willing to break.
You have a book out?
Mm-hmm. With the things I've gone through to make it this far, finally conquered the theater and my soon-to-be signed contract with the studio when we get back via this wire, it was all I could do to put print on paper.
I didn't know that. What's the title of the book?
Hush.
Hush?
Sure, it's an anti-biography. The moments best left quiet.
The voices heard on tonight's show were provided by Jasmine Hoffman as Rachael Ellis Hagan, Tamara Solomon as Pike Anderson, myself, Tony Ballard as Mason Davis, and the wonderful Dominique Breckenridge as Betty Gray. Reminding you that all of the women's wardrobe worn in tonight's broadcast were provided by her line, Dominique Private Collection.
I do the Life Club wants to thank you for tuning in to our broadcast and Dominique Review. Wants to remind you to subscribe to our Dominique Review YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on @Dominique Review on Twitter, and share us with your friends before we bring you an all-new episode next week. So be sure to tune in with your family and friends here at our YouTube broadcasting channel, Dominique Review. This has been a Dominique Review production. Good night, everybody. Woo!
Don't you know Italian when you hear it? Quasi una fantasia.
Oh, okay. Make yourself at home.
Come on. This is so sudden. Is it? I didn't know why I can't climb the line.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry, the light got me.
No, Beethoven, the producer. Okay. Okay. Haven't you ever heard of? Okay, I forgot how to say
Ludwig.
Ludwig.
Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't take a board to break down a brick. You know, that is falling on its head. I have to do that line again, and I don't even know what that meant. Oh yeah.
Well, it doesn't take a board to know a brick has just fallen on its head.
Oh, okay. Performed tonight by our very own Betty Gray as Crystal Allen, Rachael Ellis Hagan as Sylvia Flower. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Flower Fowler.
Pick it up from perform tonight.
Oh wait, Sylvia.
Well, there's been a problem with the props. It was supposed to go this way. It was pushed too far back. I'm sorry. Excuse us.
Okay.
All right.
I still can't get it to go that way.
Yeah, because it goes a little bit, not this much. It goes that
Oh,
way.
it goes that way.
Yeah, we've had a discussion about this already. It goes that way. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Pick it up from go away. So here. Yeah. Okay. This should be played like I know something you don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's do that one more time. I forgot we had to share. Okay. That's why I'm like looking around. Okay.
Why is she on the script?
Okay.
You mean the one you carry around with hit people in it?
Well, I got those connections. Me and George Raptor just like this. Okay.
Wow, sure they'd be surprised too. I've been on the other one of those skillets. Took me 8 months to learn how to write with my left.
Where's the phone? One more time. I'm sure that'd be
Gray and I will bring you a scene from MGM's 1939 hit comedy, Ernst Lubitsch's Ninotchka, written by...
You had the Lubitsch. Ninotchka.
Ninotchka. Okay.
Ninotchka.
Written by Charles Brackett, Billy Wilder, and starring Walter Rice, and that is not what it says at all. The opposite. He wasn't in the film.
No.
He wrote it, so we're going to go back here. Ninotchka.
Ninotchka.
Goodness gracious.
Ninotchka.
It's another language, so...
Right. It's Russian.
Ernst
Lubitsch.
Lubitsch
Ninotchka.
Ninotchka. That's funny. I've never thought of that before. Oh, what?
Okay. Let's just start from this. What? Okay. Let's just start from this.
All right, here we go.
What page are you on?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
No more takes.
All right.
Isn't that too bad? Let me see. The last time I jumped, I forgot to talk it. I forgot to time it. Let me see. Eiffel Tower. Let's see. Oh, okay. Your finger, please.
Pick it up from the left. Yeah, we're going to have to do that one, buddy. Now,
that
isn't
too?
that? Yeah. Why do you want She sneezed.
I've heard of that arrogant male capitalistic society.
Ninotchka in men's clothing. One more time.
Okay, sorry. A Russian. Okay, I love Russians, comrade. I've been fascinated.
Okay.
Okay.
You are so surprised she is Russian now.
Oh,
Russian.
Got it.
Okay. So I'm just going to pick it up.
Sucking.
It's okay. No. It's the first time we're doing this. Don't go back. Okay.
Should give Whipsaw a run for its money.
Myrna?
Make way, Myrna Loy?
Myrna.
Myrna. Oh, okay. All right.
Pick it up, shoot, get it off. How's the story coming along, Anderson?
I don't know. Gotten into... What? Gotten into any... Fisticuffs lately?
Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs. Okay.
What? Fisticuffs? You guys never seen it over? I do anything. All right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What? Fisticuffs? All right. Now,
Okay.
what say you, Anderson? Oh, crap. Can somebody do the typewriter? Anybody else got? No. Sad. Okay. I'll just... Never mind. It's okay.
It's definitely not typewriter. It's a woodpecker.
Okay. All right.
Were provided by her line. Dominique.
It's over there.
All right. Can we just do this, reminding you one more time, and you guys do a circle.
Okay.
Reminding you that all of the women's wardrobe worn in tonight's shows were provided by her line. Let's do it one last time. Fine. This is the last time. And Dominique Breckenridge has really that all of the women's wardrobe tonight was provided by her. I can't get this out. I can't get this out. I do this every week. It's so easy.
It's just that's what's making it because it's so
Yeah,
easy.
it's so easy. It's difficult. Okay. Let's do it again.
It's because it's at the end.
It's right because it's at the end.
It's almost done.
All right.
All right. And Dominique Breckenridge as Betty Gray.